I don't know if I think they may have heard all that.
Oh, it's okay.
It's funny the intro going. You just hear a vape like gurgling in the background
because all our mics are up. That's fine.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I was just trying to get it smoky in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Sexy.
Yeah.
You know what you should do?
Get it look like an 80s movie. Just
vape like crazy. Then we're gonna get laser lights,
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good shit.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
summon some aliens outside afterwards.
Don't bring up aliens.
Okay, later on we'll talk about
I've been on a tear of spiraling about aliens. You following all the shit?
Oh yeah. I've been I shouldn't say all this shit. But, but yeah.
My girlfriend and I decided together that I need to take a little break because it's been.
I was getting ready to have that conversation with you, honestly.
Your girlfriend and you decided together?
She suggested and I agreed.
Yeah, no, that sounds right. That sounds
I was listening.
She's like, this seems to really upset you quite a lot, and there's nothing you can do about it. So
you ain't stopping. Or did you stop, or are you still trucking on? With
he's for sure still trucking on, but he's practicing restraint.
No, I deleted all my like apps again. So
you have
like
to go off the grid so you don't think about it.
No, it's just like I don't know. For some reason, there's a clear difference between like having the Reddit app on my phone and going to the browser and typing in a URL of like a subreddit to look at that one. There's like a huge difference in my life where
it's like when an alcoholic has like the alcohol like under the bathroom sink. It's like there's enough of a separation that you won't go there until the aliens come.
That is not accurate.
Yeah, that's not how being an alcoholic works.
That's what
Every alcoholic has a bottle of rum under their toilet.
In the tank.
With a gun.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
No, that's fuck. It's more like it's like, well, I can only drink at the bar. I can't have it at my house.
You're right.
Yeah, that's a more realistic delineation.
The laddering into I'm a full-blown alcoholic is okay. I won't drink alone anymore. No more drinking alone. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm sick of this. You're crying. You're naked. You've just made out with your sister, and you're like, never again. And then you're like, okay. Now, only when I'm with friends. Then I'm fine. And then
I got to you with friends making out with your sister.
Buck naked with your sister again. Your cousin's there. She's taking pictures.
You're
it's
completely sober.
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta stop making out with my sister.
Yeah. No alcohol in the house, then only at the bars, and then before you know it, you're just breaking into people's houses because your rule is that you can't buy it.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't buy it, but I can steal it.
Yeah,
and I'm still following my rules. I'm being an alcoholic.
Well,
you get pulled over, just like chugging a fifth of vodka. You're like, this is not mine.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't buy. I'm an alcoholic, sir.
I actually went through a thing where it's like my alcoholic journey. It was like, okay, so I can't drink alone anymore, and then eventually it was like I can only drink alone.
Oh yeah. That's a that's scary. Then you start getting scared.
Then I'm like at a party, like bored, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna go home so I can actually drink.
Yeah.
Because the way I like to drink won't fly here for
New Year's
sure.
Eve, you're wearing the huge 2021 sunglasses. You're drinking. You're blowing party balloons by yourself.
Yeah, it's 2014.
Dude, I never had like I understand like doing like psychedelics or like different like I understand doing those kind of drugs alone because like you'll have a party, things will present themselves to you, but like going home to drink alone with like no stimulus at all is crazy.
Yeah.
What's the goal there?
Well, just I'm not gonna embarrass myself at home. I would just go home. I'd go down to my parents' basement. I'd watch Netflix. Maybe go on like because they had the nice cable. They had the nice Comcast. Maybe go on like the HBO on demand. Maybe watch Chewed Up.
Oh, yeah. Okay, just getting fucking hammered, watching Chewed Up.
Getting hammered. And I would always I would start with like, because I thought I was like a mixologist. So I would start and I'd be like, let me make myself an old fashioned because that's what Don Draper drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Always some TV. So I'd make myself like the shittiest old fashioned, just like spill like way too much sugar in it. Just fucking, I don't have cubes to muddle. It's just fucking like, sugar, like loose sugar. But then, the second one, by by like the third one, I'm just refilling whiskey to the top with like this shitty old fruit that's been in there for 3 cocktails.
Yeah, it still works.
Yeah,
that fruit's still good. Mm-hmm. I love it.
I've like ruined an orange to make this. I'm just like eating orange slices like it's a soccer game.
Dude, can I take these off? Are you guys gonna have like audio?
No,
thanks.
Yeah,
so that'll be fine.
Take them off. Man.
Yeah,
I'm off.
We'll let you know if you're like pointing it away or something. Yeah.
This is ultimately, Kevin. This is about you. This is about getting you back on the airwaves. Yeah. You missed it.
I missed it.
By the way, we are with Kevin Tienken, returning guest.
Hi.
The greatest.
The greatest.
The greatest of all time, dude.
I appreciate that.
No,
Thank
we
you.
mean it.
I've been sad. You know, I've been sad and when Brain Jail ended, it was the end of my joy. You know, and,
really?
Oh yeah, it was. I was.
It bummed me out too. I
while.
loved Brain Jail,
Yeah.
just as a listener.
Well, like for me, it was like, okay, so I was producing 2 podcasts, and then I had Brain Jail, and then I had stand up, and then I had like auditioning and voiceover. These are all my creative outlets. I'm being creative. And then the pandemic hit. My auditions went like nowhere. All like great auditions where I'm like a backyard guy or man number 7. Where I just nod, and then I have to go through 5 callbacks, and we're like, "Could you nod to the right?" I'm like, "Thanks."
I've seen you in some of those. You
dude.
shared the one on Twitter. You're like, "I'm in this," and I watch, and it's you in like a sweater, like kind of like rubbing your belly a little bit.
Yeah,
Wait, what was that for? There was somebody big in that, right?
That was for Seth Rogen. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Well, I have a whole. One of the commercials is just featuring me, but I was an extra. So I think they filmed 5 commercials, and one of them was Indica Man, and I was like Indica at the office, and I'd smoked too much weed at the office. I smoked the wrong kind of weed, so I smoked Indica, and then I was tired at work, and that was the only time that Seth Rogen talked to me. But that one doesn't get played very much. The other one does, where I'm just in the background.
And what did he say to you? Fucking loser.
No, he actually said, because I was...
Is it him disavowing James Franco to you in the commercial?
Yeah.
He corners Kevin. He's just like, yeah, we really, in 40-Year-Old Virgin, that you know how I know you're gay, we really shouldn't have done that. All right, see you, buddy.
I feel really bad about a lot of the things I said.
No, he'd be like, from the top, James Franco sucks ass. Okay, Kevin, now one more time, James Franco's gay. And then, no, seriously, no, okay. No,
and then he leans in closer and he goes, he's innocent.
Yeah. No,
Totally.
So basically, I was rehearsing what I was supposed to be doing, and then his voice piped in and was like, "Hey, can you do it one more time? But this time, like, keep your chin up so your eyes are to the camera." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "We'll do it in a second." And then I was practicing that, and then he goes, "Actually, we just got you rehearsing it. That was perfect. Thanks. Bye."
Wow.
And I was like, "Okay, cool." So,
Damn, dude.
It was good. And then I sat next to him on a
Anyway,
on a
I'm
bus
sorry for
ride.
ever being funny. Goodbye.
I got to sit next to him, and then I was like kind of trying to be cool, and it was like asking him, because we rode on this bus to the shoot location and then back to where everybody was parked, and I was just like, "Do your parents, are they cool with with marijuana smoke?" And he was like,
Damn, that sucks.
"Yeah, dude."
And he's like, I'm a millionaire. My parents are very happy.
He's like, "Yeah, they were pretty cool." I'm like, far out, man. That's cool. Hell yeah. No, it was bad. But yeah, so everything dropped off, and then all I had was Brain Jail. That was the last thing that I had. It was like that I could still call myself a creative person.
Right.
And then Ben's like, "Hey, I make $6 billion a month. I have to. I no longer can be on your podcast."
Right.
No, Ben. I love Ben. He got busy. He made the decision that any smart person would have made. But I just
Well, he had to move, too,
Yeah,
right?
any smart person would move to Austin for the comedy, right?
Dude, hey, I mean, honestly, if any of us were in that position,
No,
we'd
no,
probably
no,
do
no.
the same
Of
exact
course,
thing.
of course. Ben wasn't the guy who made the stupid decision. I'll put it like
That's
that.
right. That's right. No. But I just miss the hell out of him, and so that translates to anger and
Yeah.
acceptance and all that stuff. And I just haven't seen him at all, so it's like that's another thing where I'm just like,
Just miss your buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
I mean, they're coming back, right? Isn't he going to be back in L.A.? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah, it'll be one less excuse as to why I'll never see him. Distance won't be one of those factors. It'll be something else. But it's good. It's great. No, I love it.
I know you're really gonna miss all the gay Nazi jokes that he would make. Or the what if Hitler was a Columbine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, real talk, because like that podcast would be like basic. It was like a family. Like Jace, like I was everyone's dad. But I was also trying to be hip for like I was like a dad who went to the high school party with his kids. Right. And I'm like, oh yeah, what if the Twin Towers were cocks, both of them? Good stuff. And then Ben would say something. There was just like it was like that was a good dynamic. But,
what if you put on the glasses from They Live and you looked at the Twin Towers and they were cocks?
Yeah. Hey, what if 9/11 was the N-word? Huh?
Dude,
what about that one?
Can I use that?
Wow. Damn, see, I did miss Brain Gel. Holy shit, dude. That was, I have to say, that was my favorite part of it would be you and Jace, like, coming close to, like, the brink of, like, a tearful discussion about, like, depression and anxiety.
Yep.
And then Ben just being like, I think we're in the Matrix, but it's the gay Matrix.
Yeah. It's like, I think we're in the Matrix, but there's only one hose and it's going in your ass. You get unplugged. You're like,
it's a pretty good Ben riff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why the Matrix is so good, because everybody actually wants to get fucked in the ass.
Yes.
But you have to understand that that's wrong.
It's not the real world.
Yeah.
It's not the real world.
It's not the real world.
No, it's definitely not.
You can't reproduce that way, so the machines had to take over because nobody was heterosexual anymore in the future.
Right.
Matrix Reloaded. Everyone's fucking in the cave, and the machines come to put a stop to it.
Yes, dude.
We're not sure who came first, but we do know that it was us who scorched the sky. I'm losing my mind.
You're just in the pod, but it's just full of cum.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's your cum, dude.
Yeah, it's your cum.
You're getting pumped right in the ass your entire life.
That scene doesn't change at all if you do that. Right? The scene is exactly the same if it's just a pod full of semen.
Why do my eyes hurt? Because they have cum in them.
Because of the salt content. And then he looks over at Dozer. He's like,
that makes sense. That's why
I just watched The Matrix like 2 nights ago with my kids.
I haven't, but you know what I did watch, which everybody should please watch this documentary. It's good, but then also it takes like a wild turn at the end, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, what is it called?
It's called A Glitch in the Matrix. Right. It's on Hulu.
Dude.
Did you watch
it, bro?
Yeah.
It's so funny when you get to the black nerd who kills his family.
So we should explain. It's a movie about like the theory that everything is a simulation, and most of the movie is him talking to either experts or like, I don't know, presumably crazy people he knows from like a DM.
This guy's skill, this document, if you've seen Room 237, his skill is making crazy people feel comfortable enough to just go.
Right.
And he's really, really good at that.
Yeah.
Podcast.
I don't know how.
He's like, you can say whatever you want.
Are you allowed to like? Because it sounded like the guy was calling him from prison. Are you allowed to like do interviews from prison?
Yeah, of course you are. You can contact him. You can write them letters. You can record them.
Yeah.
They did that with John Wayne Gacy. Did a bunch of like interviews, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, a lot of those crazy dudes did. A lot of the multi. You know, I remember I watched the what is the Iceman? The Iceman murder. Yeah. You ever see those? It was like this contract killer. He killed hundreds of people, and this guy would interview him, and like it was intense because at some point in the interview, and you guys have you'll be able to relate to this. He would look at him and he'd be like, "If I wasn't restrained right now, that's something I'd probably kill you for." Like it's so intense. You guys have had guests do that here, right?
Absolutely, all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, it's.
I get threatened
really
every episode.
I do want to talk about this alien stuff though, because
yeah.
All right,
we'll get into that, but I feel like we're zooming through.
We are zooming through. Let's go back to the major. I will say it's only because the last Alien Patreon episode, I was listening back and I was like, this isn't even fun crazy. this is like upsetting crazy.
Yeah.
You're worried.
But anyway, so they just interview this Lemaire. This basically
it's Lemaire.
It's Lemaire. It's a black nerd.
Watch Lemaire in the Troops video that they did with
the militia funeral.
It's that version of Lemaire.
Yeah. Just this.
Lemaire.
Oh, Lemaire Lee's he's a buddy of ours from Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
But
Gillian Keefe sketch.
most people know him as the fired producer of Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast.
Ah, okay. Yeah. He didn't lock it down. You gotta,
No.
You got to bleep those chill words out. You know, it's dangerous. Anytime he hears it, you got to get your hand on the button.
Actually, he was fired for not filming them. So it's like
Yeah.
Really?
Or I think he told me he had pulled out a memory card while the camera was recording.
Oh,
and,
my
something like
God.
that. But anyway,
That's
so
like unplugging from the Matrix too early.
Yeah.
Dude. You're gonna corrupt your data.
it's
You got to
just
take
sick.
the pill first.
The part of the documentary where it's just him and he's just like in detail discussing like running through the Hot Topic to buy the trench coat.
Yeah.
Well,
And he's like, I felt alive when I put the trench coat on. I felt like I was invincible, like I was Neo.
yeah, and he would watch the Matrix. My favorite part though is he talks about he's like, and then I shot my mom in the face and watched her face explode, and I was disappointed because I thought this isn't like the Matrix at all.
Yeah. Dude, it was insane. And he said it with there was no, he just said it like a robot.
Right.
Which is, that was intense.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's what I
Imagine-
worry about happening to me.
No.
Me too.
I don't have violent urges, but I could definitely see myself just losing complete touch with reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. We watch it happen, Brendan. You go in and out. Yeah, we have other bipolar friends who are like, it's crazy how much Brendan believes his own brain.
Fuck.
That's great.
I hate finding out shit like this on mic.
I thought we talked about
I
this
know,
with you.
I know.
Dude, somebody on our on the old Brain Jail Discord was calling me a pussy. He's like, "Don't be a pussy. Get back out there and do a pod." I was like, "Fine." Like, and then this stranger, and I was like pissed. I was ready to hit my kids. Like, I was like, nobody calls me a pussy. Like, I was so pissed. But then I was like, "Yeah, he's right. You know, I probably should."
You're doing it, man.
Yeah.
We're facilitating that.
Great. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I still got the feeds up. I just need to start uploading stuff. I just don't want it to be too boring if it's just me. I got nobody else to talk about. You know, there's no one to call gay.
Yeah, you do
Everyone to call gay is gone.
you do Brain Jail, but it's like Mike Love when he was just like, "I'm the Beach Boys."
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Not saying that you're the Mike Love.
No,
but you know,
it's just,
you get
you're right.
the principle.
We're not going to be able to get those 3-part harmonies back. You know, like I can try, you know, but it just won't be the same. Oh.
It's just you in a black box theater, and you're like, "My dad is gay, and also he's 9/11."
And I'm like mad that you're not laughing. You don't get it? Dude, me and Bruce would always do this bit where it was like the pretentious comedian who's above he's meditated so much, he's become elevated in such a way that it's just he just understands his body is just a vehicle for his soul, and he's on stage and he's peeing into his own mouth, and then he's like, all right, for the next bit, I'm gonna piss in my own mouth. And he's peeing, and then people in front of him are like vomiting and like screaming, like people are booing actively. It's the worst. And he's just going, "You guys are being so annoying right now. You guys are being so immature. It's sterile. Like, why are you freaking out right now?" It's good. It's
Now I'm imagining the DVD cover. It's just, the special is called "It's Sterile."
Yeah.
It's him like doing like a.
There's a perfect arc. Just in his own mouth.
That sounds like a real like Lyric Hyperion show.
Yeah, dude,
for
that's
sure.
where that's in my mind. That's exactly where it is.
That's where it happens.
Yeah,
you have to do it. Though.
100%. I just paid $7 for a muffin.
Someone was telling me about some show there where like a guy just like threw out thumbtacks and like fell on him, and obviously everyone was just like, "Oh
No,
and he's like, "Oh, like he thought people were gonna laugh, but
Yeah.
they were all just horrified."
They're just,
I-
And somehow that's like more wholesome to those people than just like regular stand-up comedy.
yes.
I swear to God, I saw a show. I saw because it was Johnny Pemberton and the kid from Twin Peaks with the glasses. What's his name?
Josh Fadem.
Josh Fadem. They came out. They did it. It was really funny. Some comedians came out, and then Natalie Palamides' sketch group came out. And I swear to God, they ate real food out of each other's assholes. I don't think I'm making that up.
You probably aren't. They just did a spot at the store where they just were both topless. It was like Natalie and somebody else, and
Here's
just
the thing.
topless.
It was also funny. It is funny to shove your fingers in your sketch partner's asshole for real.
Yeah. That's commitment.
It's total commitment.
I made out with a dude on stage once for that same reason.
Yeah, the club wasn't even open. It was 3 a.m.
Well, it was a dress rehearsal. You know, and,
This was at the height of COVID.
Yeah.
we did
You in the Condemned Comedy Store.
we did a comedian cinema club at the Improv, the Hollywood Improv, and the other guy, Anthony DeSimito, was like this. I was playing a cat from that witch movie.
I heard about this.
Yeah,
that's how big this bit was.
And but yeah, we ended up making out at the end, and then I like right when we finished kissing, I wiped my mouth. I remember wiping my mouth and then freaking out, like people are gonna think I'm homophobic. Like, because I just wiped my mouth, but there were just spit everywhere.
Yeah, that's fine. I wiped my mouth after I kissed my girlfriend.
Yeah, I always wipe my mouth.
Yeah,
always. My wife.
That would be insane to think you were homophobic for wiping your mouth.
Dude, this is my brain, bro. Like, seriously, like it's just like it's so bad.
Well, they're gunning for you.
Yeah, you didn't make out with the guy hot enough. You homophobe.
You're gonna be the next person that Seth Rogen disavows.
Dude,
but he apologizes for speaking to you directly.
He has to like digital zoom in on you in the background of the shot and be like, I no longer work with this man.
This man is bad.
Yeah.
He's bad. Yeah, no, I hope not. I'm always paranoid. I have nothing to lose, but at the same time, I'm like tiptoeing. Like, you go, especially with stand up, you get like an idea for something, and then you're like, you're never going to do it, but you just get anxious about the possibility of doing it because it could be. I don't know. Maybe I'm paranoid.
No. I think you're absolutely right.
The lockdown has been bad. It's been bad.
Yeah, I think
it's been so bad.
It's been rough on a lot of people. I don't know. I traveled 7 times during it, so I was like, the lockdown was bad, and then I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna like travel the country while COVID's going on.
I only traveled once, but it was to Wuhan, China. It's only one travel.
Yeah,
like,
it's the cheapest flight.
Yeah. Nobody was going there. I had the plane to myself. It was great. Okay. I'll wait till you're ready to talk about the aliens.
No, I don't want to shut it down. We can
move on to the aliens.
I can certainly talk about the aliens.
Because I watched that
60 Minutes
Unacknowledged. Do you guys watch Unacknowledged?
No, I'm not familiar. Please tell me.
It's a documentary out there, and it's just a dude, and somebody's probably watching right now, just being like, "Oh, the documentary was bullshit." I don't know if it was bullshit, but everybody supposedly had.
Well, if it's on Tubi, I believe it.
Yeah.
We're on a big Tubi kick right now.
We want the Tubi sponsorship, dude. Tubi has all the best movies, all the best docs. So you have to watch 90 minutes of commercials. Who cares?
Yeah, it's Tubi. It's just like regular old TV. No, but so the Unacknowledged, they have the guy, the main host, had briefed a bunch of presidents on like the alien situation, and it's kind of like a little bit of deep state type conspiracy type stuff.
I'm into it.
But so there's that one, and then he did another one more recently, which was kind of a recap of Unacknowledged, but then he adds. I think it's called like Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Here we go.
Which is when you summon the aliens to you.
By activating a nuke or something, right?
No. So the theory is that just based on pure...
By smoking DMT.
No. Almost. Meditation. It's through meditation.
Ah, okay.
So the theory is that has inspired this thought that he puts into practice. He says he does it all the time. Is that that people from more advanced civilizations that would be able to be capable of time travel would have to get past like the physics problem of just the pure distance. And the way you would do that would be through
astral projection,
asshole projection.
Yeah.
And, so what he was saying is like a lot of times the encounters that people have are usually like when you see something, it's an astral projection.
That makes sense why people have ET encounters when they're in the throes of sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of stuff, but he says and there's footage and pictures. Who knows if it's fake? But that they're like in the desert or someplace, and they will all meditate, and they will be visited by the aliens, and then he'll literally see them in the distance.
Dude,
he has a green laser pointer and he circles them, and then he'll see the thing move, and it'll like come down and. Dude, it's intense.
Dude, I gotta tell you some shit.
I want to do it.
I shouldn't have had whiskey, but
You're red barring out this episode.
I'm about to red bar out. But we need a car crash noise and Jewish music on the board. That's what we need. But so I have a friend. She's like, I don't even know how to tell this story. I'll try to summarize. I think I've told it before in the cast. My friend, I'll leave her name out of it, but she went to like a Waldorf school and she teaches at a Waldorf school.
I have to pee, and I've heard this story, so I'm just going to do it real quick.
Go
but
pee, dude.
this is a good story.
I don't want to hear this story, and I have to pee also.
Okay, then go.
I'm joking.
No, you're
All
good. I'll tell the listeners.
No, please.
So Waldorf schools are basically schools where they teach. They're kind of like Montessori, but like they're a lot more spiritually oriented. I am too drunk to be talking about this, but they basically like
one drink.
No, this is my second one. I had a whole drink, and it was like 100 and something proof.
Oh yeah, it is.
And I also haven't had a drink in like fucking months.
Okay, hell yeah.
Anyway, basically, they're these schools, but they have like a spiritual bent, and it's all based on this guy like Rudolf Steiner, who like thought that you could like tap into like weird, like higher planes of consciousness, and it's not explicitly in the curriculum, but they do like kind of lead the kids there. Anyways, she was talking about how she like went on like this tour with this guy who was into similar stuff in Australia, and it was like a backpacking tour, and I'm fucking this story up, but basically when they were all sleeping, one of the guys who was like bunked with him in the night, he woke up in the middle of the night and basically saw these beings standing over this guy who was leading the backpack tour. I mean, like a sleep paralysis type thing.
Yeah.
And it was vivid. It wasn't like it wasn't anything like that. It was I'm fucking this story up, but he basically said he described the beings that he saw over him, and he said, "Oh yeah, they come in the night, they work on me." So why this is crazy?
Wait, the guy was like, "Oh yeah," no
he's
big
like,
deal.
"Yeah, I've met them." So why this is crazy is she had a kid in her Waldorf school who this is all the shit I actually believe. Just so you guys know,
I love it.
so she had this.
Have another.
She had this. I will. She had this kid in her. The reason why she was telling me is because the kid's name was also Nicholas. But he just like came up to her in the library, and he started saying that he like remembered what it was like before he was born, and he remembered being with these things.
Really?
And the beings that he described were 1-to-1 the same description that guy relayed to their guy who was leading him through the Australian backpacking. And also, while she was telling me this, we were like hanging out at an Airbnb over in Los Feliz, and while she was telling me this, I had one of the most intense acid flashbacks of my life, where like she was telling me this story, and all of a sudden I like started to go into it. I was watching like her face basically like phase in and out of the background of the Airbnb we were in, like colors were blending all this, and I stopped her mid-story. I said, I want you to know that, like, I don't want to interrupt your story, but, like, this is happening. I'm having, like, a very intense, like, psychedelic experience right now. And she goes, it's okay. It's happening to me, too. I'm just going to keep telling the story. And then she finished I won't go into details, but she finished the story.
I kind of want you to go into the details. Like, that's insane.
Because for me to go into the details, it would be, like, I would have to go into... I'm telling a repeated version of like her story, and I'll mess it up, and we'll have to like jump back and forth. But the significant parts of it were, she finishes telling me this story about this kid in her school remembering his past life, where like they're very oriented towards these like higher planes of consciousness, and it took me like a full 30 minutes for like reality to basically like waver back to like base reality.
Yeah.
But it was weird that we both, like, as she was telling me, she knew exactly what I was going through and was happening to her too.
That's a trip.
It was a trip, man. I've done a lot of psychedelics, and that is one of the trippiest experiences I've ever had, and I was completely sober.
Yeah. Well, that's like...
Damn, this really shows how much crazier I've gotten, because I remember 2 years ago, the first time you told me that story, I was like, wow, Nick's an idiot. And now I'm just like, oh, absolutely 100% true.
It's completely true. The crazy thing was the two of us, and that's why it's the same thing like when people smoke DMT, and there's the common experience of like meeting the machine elves or the fucking purple lady or whatever.
Right.
It was the fact that we were having this like conjoined... what do you call it? Concurrent psychedelic experience.
Yeah,
totally sober. It was crazy.
That's a trip. Well, like the alien stuff, and the reason that I was kind of like compelled by the story from the documentary about the meditation was the fact that like the link to aliens and like higher levels of consciousness and acid, like all that stuff, like that. Did I say acid?
Yeah.
But all that link was
so
like,
high on ass.
damn, man, bro, you blew me out. But it was like that link to like the kind of like a fourth dimension, or like the third eye and all that.
There's absolutely
shit.
I'll say it. There is absolutely a fourth dimension.
Yeah,
How could there not be, dude?
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I want I want more.
Brendan, I finally read that story that we talked about. Was it on the regular episode?
Oh,
or
the wheel?
bonus? The wheel.
Yeah.
And it's I've never had an experience explicitly like that, but he basically described, and there wasn't one trip that solidified it, but like the strong impression that I've gotten from the various acid trips. I'm like, oh, I understand, like what he's articulating 100%.
This is like I found it on Reddit, but it's like this guy's near-death experience where he's describing like he's in traffic, he gets hit by the car, and he sees like a city-sized, like almost like water wheel.
No, what's significant is it's not city-sized when it starts out, which is very true to acid, where like you think something's one way, and then your conception of it is shattered, but you immediately and it's basically redefined, but you're able to stick with it. Even if it doesn't make linear sense as you're perceiving it.
Yeah.
But the wheel starts out like the size of a building, and then as it gets closer, he realizes it's larger than anything that we understand, like on this planet.
Water wheel.
Yeah.
Sideways water wheel that's like, I think he's spinning. And I'll let you finish it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and basically like he feels himself like he's like it sorts him.
Yeah, the different paddles of the wheel sort you in.
Sort you into like different timelines where like he could like sense that like, oh, if I go into those timelines, I die. And if I go into this one, and then he gets sorted by the wheel, and he's back on the road like 30 seconds before the crash.
And no crash happens. Yeah.
Wait.
Stronger.
So what he had the crash. That's what he's saying.
No, he says, I remember having the crash, but when I was finished this experience that I had, the crash did not happen, and I've lived my life ever since. He remembers having the crash.
What
he remembers this. And I think that like when you talk about like the universe having some kind, because he also says he doesn't know if he believes in like a singular God, but like he does believe in like the sentience of the universe and like returning. He's essentially describing, I think what I like got the impression of was like returning to the fabric of the universe, and being reintegrated into it after, because I need to know.
How many people do you think we have?
Be on the air right now?
The past 3 episodes have been a different podcast.
It's insane that the listeners have gone up.
Yeah, so you guys.
Well, who knows? Maybe people want this to be the show.
I mean, something that
we got hit up by this weird.
No, we can't make this the show, Brendan.
Yeah.
No, this has to be the show.
No, this cannot be the show, dude. We haven't said a joke in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, we got hit up by some guy. He definitely doesn't listen, so it doesn't matter.
Ken Ami.
Yeah, but this guy hit us up who is basically just like a cryptid biblical like author. He's just I think he basically just like
he also believes that coronavirus is actually the Biden virus. I've checked his Instagram. He's the man.
Biden caused it?
Yeah, but the Biden virus. Stop the Biden virus 2020.
Jesus Christ, fucking psychos.
Yeah, but then it's basically
you guys are like, you're out of here.
No.
Nobody talks shit on the Biden virus.
Yeah, you got to be nice to Ken Ami, dude. All of his pictures are black and white. He's in like a biblical veil, like with his eyes closed.
And he's like, hey, I'm an author and I write about things such as the Nephilim, and I was wondering if he was like, and I will do your. He basically just invited himself on. We're like,
And like, no thanks.
We don't normally have authors on.
Yeah. He was like, you're gonna want me on your podcast.
Yeah.
Also, I went to his website, and the very first article was, "Is Jehovah actually Satan?" Like a philosophical analysis.
I've seen way better. Like, I love that kind of shit. Like, I found a website once of this guy who all of his articles are just like. Basically, he thinks every celebrity, like the Paul McCartney thing, he thinks every celebrity was like killed and replaced. And he posts like an article a day about like different conspiracy theories, like is Obama actually George Bush, face swapped, or
definitely
all kinds of shit like that. But then he also posts.
How awesome would that be if George Bush, the way George Bush won 2 more terms, was by doing blackface?
Dude. Hey man, that's not a bad way to go. Like Bill Clinton's like, I'm going to be a black woman for the next 8 years.
We call that the Texas instinct. Jewish be like, I think people like this. I think they're really going to like it.
And he was right.
Totally right.
But anyway, so that guy, he's clearly, it's all schizophrenic conspiracy theories. And then he also posts like fine art that is so good, you're like, was this painted in like the 1600s? Like,
wow.
He just paints beautiful nudes, like beautiful oil painting nudes.
See, he probably knows something. I'm like, all right, you got me.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like everybody who made some sort of big scientific or like mathematical study, they also were like a philosopher or a painter. Like back then, you used to be 5 things or nothing.
Yeah, look at Galileo. Was it Da Vinci or Galileo? Who figured shit out?
Yeah,
it was one of those Italians.
But I think
Galileo was like the star guy. He was the measurement of the Earth.
Did he do art? Because Da Vinci did art.
Da Vinci did more art, yeah.
But he also figured some shit out.
Galileo did some art, but I think Da Vinci. I think they were mostly like patents and like.
Yeah, Galileo. He's like a scribbler compared to Da Vinci.
Yeah,
he could never hold a candle.
Yeah, he's a little bitch.
I saw his art. It actually sucked.
It sucked. Man. Fuck you.
He sucks at drawing dogs.
Galileo can suck my ass.
Well, I'm gonna get drunk every podcast, dude.
Why not? Why not?
Brendan, you want some? Come on.
Nah.
No, take a look.
You know what? I have to drive.
Brendan, look how much is in here.
Yeah, that
used to be Thursday night. I'm sorry.
How long have you been? You're sober or you're semi-sober?
I mean, I'm semi-sober, but I just don't really like weed very much. I am 5 years. It's been 5 years since I've had a drink.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
As of January, so it's been like 5.5 years.
That's great.
But can I say, in the grand scheme of all time, that's nothing. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Consider that.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I for some reason, and I've been taking CBD for my anxiety.
Good.
And it's been working.
Is it good? Is it working?
So it's not like I take it and I know it's not like a Xanax effect where I like chill out or whatever.
Right.
It's like when I take it a bunch of days in a row, overall I have less anxiety.
Yeah,
and
that's how my antidepressants were. It was like this is bullshit. And then a month later, I would realize I haven't stared at a razor blade in a couple of days. Like it would like be this slow, but I would feel better. I just wouldn't feel bad. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I find it helps. I usually take it before we podcast.
I'm trying to go off weed right now.
Guys, we're not recording.
It's recording on the computer.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, you scared me.
Yeah.
I scared myself. I saw that green button. I was like, holy shit.
Oh, another thing that we can't forget to do is discuss our sponsor.
Oh yeah, I don't know what time we're at. That's why I was looking at that to check where we were.
Now, let me ask you, Kevin.
Yes.
You're a large man. If you were shrunk, what would you wear?
If I was shrunk, what would I wear? I'd probably get like some sort of like, I'd probably make like a suit out of terry cloth or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's your only option pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe like.
Is making your own clothes out of scraps. Well, let me tell you no more. Because our sponsor, Under 5'10", makes excellent clothes for men 5'10" and under.
Yeah. The fuck out.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's our real sponsor. They've sent me some very nice clothes.
Are you modeling any of these?
I am not currently, just because it's kind of hot. They sent me some very nice jeans.
Okay.
They have great jeans. They have suits, which is sick. They have
jeans for you, shorts for everyone else. I'm just joking.
But yeah, it's sick. Like if you're the average man in America is 5'10", and for the most part they make clothes for people who are 5'10" or above.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy that like me and Isaac Hirsch wears a size small.
Right.
Yes.
So, like when you go down sizes, it's for skinny people. It's not for short people.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you are short, and if I had to guess from our listeners, I'd bet we have a lot of short people who maybe you got a black trench coat and honestly under 5'10" should sell
needs
Oh,
to sell a nice tailored black trench, because right now if I was going to shoot up the school I'd look ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like I'm wearing a cape.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Brendan shuffling into school?
Yeah, tripping on my trench coat because it's too long.
Shotguns just dragging on the floor.
They should make a little shotgun of it under 5'10".
It's called a lil shotgun.
Yeah.
Little shotty. That's dope.
That's gonna be the new Brendan mixtape. Is Lil Shotty.
That would be dope.
But yeah, go to under510.com. They have excellent shit. I love it. Especially you get the Xavier jeans. They make them, part of the fabric is made out of recycled plastic from the ocean.
Very cool.
Yeah. So not only are you getting pussy with your hot small clothes,
Yeah.
but you're also saving the world.
That's
Hell
right.
yeah. Hell yeah. Do you guys watch Seaspiracy, bro?
No, I have not watched Seaspiracy yet. What is Seaspiracy?
Yeah.
Kev?
It's the same. It's about plastics in the ocean.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
how no plastic has ever been recycled. Did you read that fucking NPR piece?
I did not.
We've never. I mean, like, I guess some plastic bottles advertise they're recycled, but there was this big NPR expose about how like plastics in general, by and large, are not recycled. They're sent to the recycling plant, they're sorted, and then they're put into fucking landfills.
Really?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, recycling has to be fake.
Recycling's totally fake, dude. Recycling is like the moon. Totally fake.
Yeah.
I was recycling my condoms with me and my bros. Like, this one's used, no holes. Go ahead.
That's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Well, what I do is to save the world. I use plastic bottles as condoms.
As condoms?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I use a nice 20-ounce
teacher.
Sprite.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
2-liter bottle.
Yeah. Nothing better than that. You want extra protection. You want an armored tank on your cock. There's no way that bitch is getting pregnant.
Yeah, yeah.
No way. Good God.
I try to feel absolutely nothing when I fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that I remember what's really important.
I don't think
gaming.
I don't think I could have sex with a condom anymore.
Yeah,
It's been so long.
I've had sex with a condom 3 times in my life, and clean as a whistle. Let me brag. I'll have to brag. I've I'm dodging STDs like Neo in the Matrix. Honestly,
You're a single man.
no, I'm dating somebody.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
What is that? Okay.
Broke my heart. But no. So you guys are both in long-term
Yeah.
relation.
And we use condoms, and for a while it was like when you see when someone like quits heroin and then you just see them at like open mics because they all suddenly start doing open mics, but they're just drinking like 2 giant like Red Bulls and shit, and just like smoking like tons of cig. It was kind of like that. It was like my dick was just like desperate, like I need to feel something. But I don't know. I've gotten back to the point where it to my brain it feels about the same.
My dick has
Now, if I were to take it off, I'm sure that I would immediately shatter all of my standards.
a
And
stiff breeze.
You
just
could
makes
never
you blow your load.
You'd never come back, dude.
I can't do it. Like my dick is such a weird. Like it's literally like I go soft to coming, and I'm hard for about 30 seconds. Like it's
that's
just
a window.
Yeah, it's like, and then it's like my wife's like, "Keep going. This is great." And I'm like, all right, it's gonna be done real soon. Like, okay, it's fine. She doesn't care. She hates me and hates sex. So she's like, this is for you anyway. Just pop it in. Chuck
awesome,
your
dude.
junk down my hallway. And oh man,
That's hot, dude.
But I've tried the condoms because I thought the thing would be like, oh, there'll be less stimulation, and then
I'll
it
wear
was
a condom so I can last longer with my wife of many years.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to pleasure the wife of my youth.
That's
know
what you
what I
have
mean?
to do.
I'm trying to sit under her fruit tree and enjoy her choice fruits.
Do you think that because I think on a previous episode you told us you and your wife have never had sex with anyone else, right?
Correct.
Do you think that even with that she's like, I know that this isn't the best there is?
Oh my god.
Well, I'll give you the truth is,
I know this can't be what it's like.
no, I mean, I don't know because like that's always been. Without ruining my relationship, to be clever on a podcast. Marriage is over, but that was a decent episode.
Of not even my podcast.
Yeah.
A few thousand people heard that, so it was worth it.
No, but she.
I hope Nick and Brendan get an extra Patreon follower.
Hey, that's all about you guys.
My wife taking my kids.
We'll text you. Yeah, we got an extra $5. It was all worth it, dude.
My wife has never been like super interested in sex because there's been. I mean, we've been together 17 years. We've been together since 1999. So we've had several like conversations and iterations where like there was points where I was like pushing like we got to get good at sex. Like we need to. And my wife would be like, "It's fine. It's great. What's the problem?" And I'm going, "I know that this is bad. Like this is horrible sex." And she's like, "It's fine. But it's
I've been watching the neighbors have sex, and they look like through the window. They look like they're having a great time.
I'm just like, dude. I know it's supposed to last longer than like a YouTube ad. You know what I mean? I know that we're like, because what I'll do, I'll put on some YouTube playlist or something, and the ad won't even be done, and I'll already be putting my clothes back on. You know what I mean?
You don't even get to hear the sex jams.
No, it's like the first thing. But we would get through Brick House maybe once, but that's the first.
That's
song.
a good song to fuck to.
It's a solid. But yeah, we've had to kind of like come to the conclusion that it's not that important. Like it's like not. because I've seen so many people's relationships get fucked up because they're trying to figure out like, well, but maybe if I'm with Cynthia, then I'll come way harder. Like, or they're throwing amazing people away. They're ruining their lives.
Oh, you mean like
because-
like pursuing relationships outside of the one they already have because they think the sex will be better?
Yeah, or they're like, I've never fucked a Mexican chick before, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I
you should do
Yeah.
that. You should
like
definitely do
the-
that.
or,
You should.
or whatever the thing is, but there's like this longing for a more deeper sexual experience, and I've always felt like, and I think this is good advice, is that people should know is like sex is probably less than 10% of an entire relationship.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
such a
it's
small
very
amount.
overrated.
Oh, I
Yeah.
really disagree. I think it's a huge part of having like a healthy function, and it never in a way that's like a deal breaker.
Yeah.
If the sex is not, but I think that like having good sex and like vibing with each other sexually can really like deepen the affection. I mean, well, there's chemical releases, there's oxytocin, there's all these things that
Sure.
like deepen your affection for your partner.
I mean, obviously, sex is an important part of a relationship, but I do think that he's right that it's more trouble than it's worth. So many people, I feel like, especially people our age, are like, well, I can't settle down because I haven't had a threesome or like shit like that, and it's just like, well, you're gonna be 35, and
You should have your threesomes by 24. Don't get me wrong. There's a time, there's a window for all of this. You can't be mucking around when you're 29.
yeah,
all
you
right?
can't be in an HBO Max documentary ruining your life.
Yeah.
Wait,
If you're not,
you're so
I'll tell you something.
specific.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it on the show, so I don't want to go into too detail, but there's this documentary on HBO Max called "There's No I in Threesome," where basically these people, they're like, we're getting married in a year, and until then, we're gonna have an open relationship, and of course, they go insane and break up.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. These fucking people, man. Like, I hate the idea of these guys.
No, it's her actually, by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
guys, people, humans.
Yeah.
I use guys in the same.
Oh, I think you said he. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that movie is it's basically she Kaiser Sose to him with like being gay.
No.
Because he's like, what? Well, because basically he's like, they just had to open up their relationship, and obviously he's not gonna like get pussy because the average dude can't just like go get pussy.
Right.
So then he's just sucking guys' dicks. Like,
Jesus Christ.
it's like, well, I've never explored being bi. So it's like.
And then it's just like a selfie video of him afterwards, just like, I don't know if that was for me.
How do you not know? Like before, like I feel like you would know.
I don't know, man. I hear what Kevin's saying. I mean, I guess like we've had like different experiences, like in terms of relationships. But I'm happy that like I've had like different partners prior to the one that I'm with, and I'm very serious about the relationship that I'm in. But I'm also happy that I know what I like sexually, and we can both share that with each other and like be vulnerable about it, because there is an intimacy to that. That
Absolutely.
I do think deepens like your relationship.
Yeah,
and being comfortable enough to like explore your different likes with one another.
I just see sex usually as like this is from my buddies that have like been married and got divorced and whatever, because here's what I do. In order to stay faithful to my wife, I try to predict the future. So like there's been countless women try to come after me.
For sure.
Millions.
They saw you talk to Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah. They knew. They were like, it's time to go. No, but I always fast forward and I think about, okay, I have sex with this woman. When I'm done, it's like it's such a, even if it's like, oh, we fucked for 3 hours, that's it.
Yeah,
everything's ruined.
If you're talking about,
And then you feel guilty forever, unless
Yes.
you're a psycho.
Yeah.
Because there's people who don't.
Right.
yeah,
They're
if you're
bad
talking
people.
about like the allure
Lucky
of like
bastards.
adventurous sex in exchange for destroying a relationship, it's never worth
Yeah.
it. It's it's
But I think
never worth it.
what I was kind of getting at is I think that there's like people like our age think that they can do both.
Yes.
Yeah, I was one of those
Yeah.
people for sure.
Well, there's this idea of enlightenment.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so please, Kevin, sex is like nothing. It's just like, please, we're over. Because like my buddies be like, oh yeah, I fucked this. Like everybody fucks this girl, and then one of the guys is gonna, ends up dating this girl, and then I'm just like, isn't that?
I was always that guy, and it is dark.
Yeah, but I'm just like, is that weird? And they look at me like I'm this pathetic lower level of intelligence. Like, oh, it's just sex, Kevin. Please, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
It's like, it's just the most intimate bond two people can share.
Well, in some cases, I think it depends on what it depends on. Both people have to be bringing the same thing into it. Like the same way, like you can have a partner who's had a lot of other partners and still have like a very fulfilled. I mean, it depends on what their intentions are.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I've had a lot of partners previous to my part. She hasn't had as many partners as me, but that's no indication that I'm going to treat her less than just because I have.
Right.
And
I mean, you would obviously treat her better, Nick. Well, as like the dude stereotype, like your statement doesn't make any sense because you'd be like, it's not like you'd be like, oh man, my girlfriend's only had sex with this many guys. I wish she would like that would be insane.
But I don't care how many people she's had sex with.
Right.
It's genuinely not important to me. The problem would be is if we're in a relationship and she's still like she's not fully in the relationship, she still wants to like have sex with more people.
Well, my message is more for the person that has a solid relationship.
Right.
But the thing that they're missing is this sexual exploration, which is like, that's me. Like, that's me, where I'm like, because my struggle has always been like that kind of like envy the guy that's fucked around a lot. Like that. Sure. And this is not like something I'm proud of, or it's something that I don't like about myself that I've gotten past. But for a long time, it would be like, oh, I wish I would have just really, fucked around before I got married, my wife and whatnot. But for this message, more for the guys that have a solid relationship that think that it's going to be so much better if they're with somebody that'll let them do anal. You know what I mean?
Right, sure,
like,
yeah.
because there's plenty of people out there like that. Or
I'm sorry.
No,
I shouldn't be rude.
I didn't miss.
For me, I would describe it. For me, anal, it's kind of like a museum, where it's like you're there and you're like, this is great, but you can't go to the museum again. You're like, I've seen this shit.
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is like for all the incel stuff that we joke about is like I don't think you should purely judge somebody based on them wanting to experiment in their youth, even before I don't want to say in their youth, but basically before they're ready for a serious relationship, because I think that can be healthy, and I think that can be important for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you can also
completely drunk.
Tell me a little bit more.
You can also have too many cookies and then your stomach hurts.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Well, and I'm not saying like because you're talking about
your face is so red.
Well, I'll tell you. You want to know why my face is red? It's not just because I'm drunk. It's because today I walked from Echo Park to Beverly Hills and back in the 86 degree
Holy shit.
heat of Los Angeles.
Yeah, and now you've decided to drink Dom's whiskey on the air.
Who cares? I can drink.
yeah.
I can fuck whoever I want.
That's right.
You want to know why, Brendan? Because I've communed with the extra dimensional beings. I'm the master of my own domain. Did you know that? Have I told you that before? I know that I have.
I haven't heard this.
Oh yeah, dude. No, I did. Well, I told the story basically.
But so I'm not saying like if it has nothing to do with like a person's past. I'm more so thinking about like a person that is in a solid relationship.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I completely agree.
My wife won't let me experiment with the dog or whatever, sexually. So I'm going to find another woman who will let me fulfill my. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
If you're emotionally
can you wipe that off?
Yeah.
If you're emotionally fulfilled by something, physical pleasures will only be fleeting. And as somebody who's done wrong in
Can you set that like there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get a rag.
As somebody who's done wrong in relationships, and I'm not proud to say that I have, you feel horrible immediately.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good. It's not like it. And all you get at the end of the day is I can check that off my list. Okay, I've done that.
But what if she got like big tits, though, bro?
Well, then it would feel great. But I've never. But you know what, Kevin? I haven't explored that part of. You know what? Now you've convinced me.
You should just leave whoever it is. Just leave them.
I need to get a lady with big, fake,
huge tits.
I want like. What's a reasonable size?
That would be funny, Nick, if you got caught cheating and it's a woman with like Guinness Book of World Records fake tits.
I don't even fuck her. I just make her crush beer cans between her tits.
She's slamming. Have you seen that video?
Yes, dude.
But that chick's slamming.
I watched the video. I'm like, damn, this is so hot. This is definitely the ideal woman.
Yeah, I just think like there's way more people. I feel like there's way more dudes out there looking for a solid relationship. Who I feel like that's way harder to find.
Yeah,
way harder.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, well, never mind. I've said my piece. There's no reason for me to repeat myself.
And I'll say to piggyback on that too is like, I'm going to stereotype some people here, but like typically. If there
Black
is
guys like white chicks.
To see, you took the words right out of it. No, typically like if, and this will be wrong 70% of the time. But typically, there's and I'll just speak from a male perspective, a heterosexual, straight white male perspective.
Please check yourself.
Thank you. Point of personal privilege. No, usually if you're getting somebody that's an absolute like a freak, will like do anything sexually and will go nuts, like that person is probably going to be a little bit more passionate and crazy outside of the bedroom too. It's going to be harder to be in a relationship with a person like that, in my mind. Because
I guess that makes sense.
So it's like if they're like
Much like a wild horse.
yes, exactly.
Oh, you have to buck break these women, dude.
Well, biblically they say with an ox comes great power,
That makes sense.
but you got to clean up its shit.
Oh, that's like Spider-Man.
That's from the Bible.
Oh, okay.
That's the Bible. Yeah, no, it's something like that.
With an ox comes great power, but you got to clean up its shit.
Yeah, no, that's literally in the Bible.
That makes
I don't know if
sense.
it's an ox, but it's like something like that. It was just like, hey, just
Yeah.
there's shit in the Bible.
Yeah.
That's all. Somebody said something about shit.
I having to clean up my wife's shit
That's awful.
out in the yard
But with all that
where
being
she
said,
lives.
I love my wife.
That's a biblical kind of marriage, dude.
yeah.
Keeping your wife in the yard.
Oh yeah.
Kevin, has this gone off the rails? I'm sorry. You know what we're going to do?
It
We're gonna
has
put this-
not.
Okay, I'm going to put this down.
All right.
I haven't had a drink in months. No, that's
Yeah,
not true.
yeah.
I drank the whole time I was in Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. When were you in Chicago?
I was in Chicago like 2 weeks ago?
Oh, so you're an alcoholic.
Yeah,
saying,
that's why.
okay.
That's why. Yeah, it's like that movie. It's
Yeah,
I went there.
Nick's been in Chicago for the past 3 years.
It's a Chicago state of mind.
That's right.
It would be weird if you suddenly became like a hard drinker now.
Don't even tempt me.
You've been through it all.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well. I mean, you've been through.
You should
did
jump
all
back
the
to like.
acid in the world.
Do you remember when you were 21? What your stand-up turned into?
When I would have like 4 beers right before I would drink 4 beers in 30 minutes right before I would go on stage, like for a crowd of like 20 people, because I was trying to channel the spirit of Bill Hicks.
Literally?
Yeah, man, I was trying to channel truth into my art.
Yeah.
I feel you. No, I mean, I used to. Be
I remember one of the
drinks.
first times I ever met Nick, watching him just chug beers.
I was like, this is so I'll be funny.
Yeah.
I gotta spend this $36 so I can do my 3
Yeah.
minutes.
And then he bombed and he was just on stage like, I thought this was gonna be like Bill Hicks. Like he told the audience that.
Dude, that's great.
And then finally 4 years later, I was like, I should try writing.
Yeah, that's good. That is good.
But you know,
Also, like none of the released Bill Hicks material is from like when he drank.
yeah, true. It was all after the fact.
Yeah.
They had to really trim it and cut it. It was only after he died that they're like, all right, let's show people this shit.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I mean,
But you know what? When I die, what am I going to remember? How many good stand-up sets I had or how fucked up I got? I think it's going to be how fucked up I got.
true. That's very true.
You can't say it's not true.
It's-
I dare you to say it's not true.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Now that you did a ton of acid and then alcohol, and then did you ever have like a real weed?
Weed is the one drug that really does not agree with me, and I mean, you offer me any drug, I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'll be like, no, all right. But if you offer me weed, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
do not.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I just actually, earlier when you were asking if I was like sober-ish or whatever,
Yeah.
I bought some weed gummies when I was getting my CBD just because I was like, maybe I'll get some for a special occasion.
Yeah.
And I have not taken any of them because I'm afraid, because I started thinking about aliens too much. Then I'm just like, oh, I can't be stoned thinking about aliens.
Brandon, if you take too many of them, the aliens will visit you, dude.
Yeah.
That's completely true.
You should definitely try it. Like
That would be funny if like I'm the only guy who I smoke weed and I break through the DMT hole.
Dude, it'd be so amazing.
You're on CNN high as fuck. Like, dude, you never believe it, man. Like,
That would be so inconvenient if I got stoned for the first time in forever and suddenly they ring my doorbell and I'm on CNN.
Dude, how amazing would it be if you like took enough weed gummies, you like wake up in the Matrix pod and you're like a black teen in a trench coat?
wow.
How crazy would
That's
that be?
real dreams.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
There.
They didn't have anybody change their appearance in the Matrix, which you'd think, based on the director's trajectory, that would have been a feature.
I think they're doing that in the new one. I think I think in the new one they're doing like somebody goes in. I think I read something about that.
I
Somebody
didn't
goes
know
in.
there's a new one.
There's they filmed it. It's like been shot. I
Really?
think it's coming out. It's in post production. I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and they've said I think the Wachowskis, the Wachowski sisters,
Yeah, the Wachowskis. Yes.
the Wachowski sisters. I think they've retroactively said they're like, yeah, the Matrix is clearly a trans allegory. I'm like, is it? I didn't catch that. I totally missed that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Who knows? You know, you paint a picture of a circle. Somebody sees an asshole. Another guy sees a vagina. One guy sees one tit.
That's true.
You know, it's art. You know? That's how it is. You know.
I thought it was funny. He probably doesn't want me to credit him for this joke. Tim Kish, where he was he was joking, where it's like the older brother goes trans. And it's like, and the biggest younger brother move is like, I'm also trans.
Actually, Mom said I can be trans too.
Mom, you won't let me wear wigs anymore, Mom.
You have to share the pussy like a Nintendo.
He used all the duct tape, Mom. Oh shit.
Oh fuck.
So you guys you're both in relation. Are you either one of you guys looking to get married? Are you guys trying to get?
My girlfriend and I talk about getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids?
Yeah.
Big time. Big time. My kids are going through puberty right now.
Damn.
Oh Jesus.
How old were you when you had kids?
26, 26, 27.
Okay.
And, yeah, well.
See, I think of that as young, but that's like the normal age.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's actually even older than you would think. But I mean, adolescence is just getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back.
Yeah, yeah.
Further and further. The longer we live, and the more fertility drugs that are available and stuff. It matters. It seems to matter less and less as the ages go on.
My girlfriend worries about like fertility stuff, but I'm like, babe, if we have trouble getting pregnant, it's absolutely going to be my dick.
Right.
Like, there's no scenario where I'm not the problem.
I also think about like my youngest sister, who's like by far like the most put together of all of us. My parents had her in her mid-30s, so I'm like, all right, well, that's when you have a kid, I think.
Yeah,
because we were.
Well, my parents had me early 30s, and I was premature and a twin, and now I'm retarded. So,
yeah.
Wait, you're a twin?
Yeah, I have a twin sister.
I did not know that. You probably told me that in the last podcast, and it is the same reaction.
Maybe it doesn't come up very much.
Where is she?
She lives in Pennsylvania.
Can you commune with
I really
her?
wanted Brendan to lift up his shirt like she's right here.
No, I have two siblings. They both live in Pennsylvania.
Okay. You talk to them?
Yeah. Well, not. I think I actually don't talk to my siblings very often, but
yeah,
we're cool.
Yeah, I haven't talked to my family in a while. It's been a bit. And then we were supposed to get together for like Thanksgiving, and then the pandemic hit, and like it was weird because my brother tried to put something together like literally a month after lockdown happened. It's like, come on, it's an invitation for 80 of our family members to get together and eat. I was like, we are not going to this.
We have to own the libs by having a barbecue.
That's the only way. That's the only way to own the libs. I always, in order to just really push my political stance, I spit in people's mouths.
That rocks.
Oh, you have to.
I'd be like, I want people to know I'm no cuck.
So
know what I mean?
you know who the real sitting president is, right?
No.
What? It's so obvious, dude.
Camilla?
No.
George Bush. We
TGT.
covered this.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh. George Bush is in Biden.
Yeah, he's piloting him like those worms in Men in Black. No, it's DJT. It's the man himself.
That'd be a cool
Shadow
take. Because
Prez.
people think Trump is like still the president behind the scenes. I think that it's Jimmy Carter.
That would be awesome. That would be the ultimate like WWE like reveal. Just like it was me the whole time. You guys were mocking me for building houses.
Dude, the Q people, they can't let go. I mean, if you're all QAnon'd out and then like this shit happens, like it blows all your theories out of the water. You got to make something else.
I thought it would be funny to like get into QAnon now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, hey, have you guys heard about this thing?
Behind the scenes.
Something's really supposed to happen on like January 6th. I'm amped.
Is that a real thing?
Well, no, that was when the insurrection or whatever.
No, I'm just behind on all the shit. It's like when you're watching a show after all your friends.
Yeah, you're like, oh fuck, it was 2019. I thought it was 2029. Oh yeah, it's fucked up.
I just hate. Can I tell you what
I stormed the Capitol by myself.
Yeah.
It's like I'm the last guy playing Pokemon Go.
Dude, that's good.
I hate to see patriots disparaged like this. It just ruins it. I can't stand it, dude.
I don't know if you're joking or not. But
Me either.
Yeah. Truthfully, like, because Nick loves saying that like Trump is like a good president and stuff.
I love Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's,
when I was in Chicago with my girlfriend, we were walking around Trump Tower, which is the big. I mean, I've never seen something so incredible in my life. The letters on Trump. Are you leaving? Don't leave.
No, I don't care. I know that it doesn't make any difference because we're being controlled by a larger government anyway.
Absolutely.
So it's just all a facade.
And I was squeezing my girlfriend's hand, like basically laughing like Ben Avery, going just like, babe, I want you to know I would never vote Republican. I'm a left-leaning person, but Donald Trump is the man, and I think he's awesome. And she just went, and she just went, yeah, I know.
Well, I mean,
you have gotten lost in the bits so hard.
He's so funny. I can't. I mean, when I see him do his go on hand motions, I'm like, this guy fucking rocks, dude.
He gets it.
He fucking gets it.
He gets it.
He's the man. This is good alcohol that I'm having.
Okay, now you can't have any more.
Sorry.
I'm cutting you off.
No, I'm having this.
No, all the politics shit. I'm so glad. I'm just glad Donald Trump's out so people will shut up about the whole thing. Because I grew up in a time when nobody gave a shit.
Right.
Like nobody. It was like this blank understanding that people knew that it didn't matter who the president was, that shit was going to be kind of the same regardless.
Yeah, well, it's funny that like, and that's been truer than ever, dude. Watching Kamala Harris literally tell refugees like, do not, she just like on camera, do not come, do not cross the border. Yeah. After their whole fucking rhetoric was, we're gonna be pro-immigrant, we're gonna reinstate all this shit. It's also like, you know what, like Biden has granted budget increases for the police where Trump was going to slash their budget. Yep. So it's like all these things that like liberals and I think that leftists kind of see through, but all these things that liberals were praising him for, he's done a complete 180 on.
Yeah. Yep. It's all bad. Nobody does anything.
I just miss when comedy was like apolitical or like like political comedy was like a genre of comedy.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, a political comedian like
Bill Maher,
Jamie Kilstein, or stuff like that. Yeah. It was like this obscure side thing where then for the past 4 years that was all of comedy.
Yes, dude, and like
you were like being irresponsible if you weren't using your comedy to talk about it.
Right, you're not talking. This is very important shit right now. You should be. It's like I don't know anything. I eat my own shit. That's all. I've been eating my own shit in a cave, and I made this loincloth out of discarded semen blankets that I have.
That's Natalie Palamadas' new sketch group, right?
Yes, yeah. Discarded semen blankets. But like literally these idiots are trying to they're being kind of like pushed to comment on shit that they have no fucking clue what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's.
And then the YouTube algorithm and the fucking Facebook algorithm and all that shit is just confirming whatever belief you already had in the beginning anyway. Yeah. So it's like you're learning nothing new. And then you go out and you try to make some joke before you like apologize. I just want to say first off, I apologize for my size, my skin tone, and who I like to have sex with. And just my balls. I want to apologize about my balls right off the top just for having them. I'm so sorry. And then any people that might have been related to me, I'm not actually sure. I haven't done the 23andMe yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm responsible for most of the deaths of people that are not white. And I just want to say sorry. With that being said, if there's more than like 5 white guys in a group, it's basically a hate crime, right, guys? Right? And then you're just going, what?
What is this?
What is this?
Well, you are, but the audience is like clapping.
Well, yeah, not laughing though.
Yeah.
Not
They're just applying.
or
Good
really
points.
no, really what it is the audience is completely empty except for one producer at HBO.
Yeah.
Like, this is great.
Yeah, we gotta put this on.
exactly what I'm looking for.
We
Yeah.
got ourselves another star.
We were in our group chat. Someone posted an article for like a show that got picked up. The Gang's All Queer.
Right, which is about gay gang members.
Yeah, and I said, wouldn't it be funny if it was about like a gay violent gang, like you know, as a ridiculous thing to say? And everyone was like, "No, read the article. That's actually what the show is."
That seems to be happening more and more. Like somebody just doing a word jumble. Like shows are turning, like they're making shows from Mad Libs now, like to where it just doesn't make any sense, or like it just this is not real. Like this is plus like you can't be gay in a gang. Like, have you ever met gay members?
But I guess what's crazy about it is it's all real. Like these are like real gay gang members.
I gotta check it out.
So now
I gotta check it out.
That's the thing. When I read it, I was like, I guess I have to fucking watch this.
Wait, what do you mean it's real? Because isn't it Ismail Lutfi? Or was it?
No,
it was
it's
Jabuki.
Jabuki and Issa Rae, but they're developing a show based on the real accounts of actual gay gang members.
So why? Here's the thing. Why are those the people that were like, isn't it hard to be a gay murderer? It's like, why are we telling their story?
That's true.
Why are we being like, man, he really had it rough? It's like, well, he is a murderer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because we also love. I'll say this. I think what the show should be is just set up a fucking camera with these gay gang members. I want to hear what they're saying because I also, I love degenerate murderers. I love every Martin Scorsese movie. You know what I mean? Those are based on real people.
Good
Yeah.
characters.
But it's the.
I only want to watch closeted gay Italian guys be gay.
It's true. Yeah. How much do we love Vito, dude?
Dude,
Yeah.
that's a great episode.
It's a joke.
Yeah,
Do we have the thing
you're right. HBO already did it, and it was
HBO
great.
already did it.
They did it better because it was white guys, depending on your definition.
Yes,
Right.
Loosely white men. Yeah, the Italians, the last whites,
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Ugh,
the
man.
most recent whites.
I almost quoted that scene from True Romance, which we would have had to cut out.
Which one?
The one where Dennis. I can't even talk about it.
Just look at the
I
camera.
can't even talk about
Which
it.
one?
It's the one where Dennis Hopper accuses Christopher Walken of being related to black people.
Yeah.
Because
It's
Italians.
Yeah.
Sicilians.
Yeah.
Sicilians.
Well, actually, this is the one episode that I just took it upon myself to stream. So
Oh, are we streaming?
no,
this?
we're not streaming.
Hell yeah. No, you know what? I'm ready.
That would be a funny
Start
prank.
streaming right now.
Start it up.
I'll do the full monologue.
It looks like a lot of you in the chat are saying we should all kill ourselves. Thumb down in the chat.
So, Brandon, you stopped being an alcoholic? Because this feels, if this is how you felt all the time, this is sick, dude.
Well, this is how it starts.
Okay.
It feels
Yeah.
good for a while.
It feels good?
Feels good for a while, and it gets bad.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm glad that I'm like fat because I can drink more and not like get super fucked up. You got to be grateful, boys.
And that's the great thing about
gotta-
booze is it makes you fat. So
Yeah.
you don't have to do it the other way for
I
very
thought
long.
only beer made you fat. I thought booze didn't make you fat.
No, all booze makes you fat. It's fucking sugar.
Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah, it's messed up. That's
I can't
messed up.
stand that. Kevin, are you regretting doing this podcast?
Not at all.
All right, I've entered the point of the drinking where now I'm just like, I should kill myself.
See, that's bad. That's bad.
1 minute ago, you're like, this is sick.
I love how I'm speeding through alcoholism.
Dude, that's why I'm trying to cut back.
Speed running. You're speed running rock bottom.
I'm just backwards long jumping through alcoholism like Mario 64.
Watch this man go from sober to complete full-blown alcoholic in 1 hour.
How awesome would it be if I brought a gun? If I just produced a gun like Bud Dwyer?
Not awesome.
That would be awesome.
Like a long revolver.
No, I
What would be
had-
the funniest gun to threaten people with? I think it would be like the fucking like
the Needler from Halo.
yeah, that or like the Kurt Russell like long the
Hateful Eight.
long revolver.
I like the idea of like a full-blown like a 4-mile sniper rifle.
Yes.
But you rob a liquor store with it.
You're absolutely right.
Back up.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
You're hip firing it.
Yeah.
You fire it, it like breaks the window behind you.
No, I had to like when you're like second guessing yourself a little bit, like that's why I had to cut back on weed because it was like getting bad.
Right.
To where I was like everything I would do, I would be constantly like, oh, these are all the confirmations of all the worst things that I think people think about me. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I have.
That's why. Yeah, I love booze because there's no introspection involved. It shuts down all those voices that are in my head all fucking day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
I
should get into drinking. Quit weed, get into drinking.
I have this weed story where like I smoked because it was when Tim and his girlfriend still lived here and they had their friends staying with them. And I hadn't smoked it forever, but like we all smoked and I was like, okay, I'll smoke. And then we were like all sitting at the old table that was here really stoned. And Tim's friend was basically just like, oh, I really wish that we had something to eat. I'm like so hungry. And I was like, oh my God. This is back when I was really poor, and the only I would like go to the grocery store and be like, okay, I have $4. I'll buy a pack of double chocolate chip cookies. I'll make this last for the whole week.
Oh, this is when you lived here.
This is when I lived here, yeah. So I was like, I have the perfect thing. And I go into the pantry and I get out a pack of double chocolate chip cookies and I open them up and I'm like, guys, we can eat these. This is food.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, I mean, I don't know if I really wanted to eat like double fudge cookies. And so then I just like, in my head, I was like, okay, I just overstepped. She's probably going to Me Too me. This was way over the line. And I just shut the cookies, put them back in the pantry, and then without saying anything, walked out the door and walked the hills of Burbank until 2 a.m. Until I was finally sober. I was like, I have to get away from these people before it gets to the news.
Yeah, dude. But
so
that's the
bad.
kind of paranoid shit you can get into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I go right like one hit of anything weed related, and that's right where I go.
I think I don't know if I told you guys this already, but I remember Evan Cassidy. He thought that I was an ISIS member. He thought, no bullshit. He 100% thought because we smoked weed. We were at my house, and he could hear. When he gets fidgety or whatever, he plays with his keys, and he was hitting the alarm on his car, and so he could hear the alarm, and then so he's like we're like smoking. He's like, what's going? Are you? Wait, my car alarm's going off, dude. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then we run out to his car alarm, we turn it off, and he gives me this look like I started to get scared. Like, because I thought he was having a true, like, psychotic break. Like, because we got back to, and he was just, like, looking at me after he turned his alarm off. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah,
when somebody,
of course.
Like, you're like, what? What? Like, why are you looking at me? So we get back to the house, and I go, okay, no judgment, nothing at all. I just want to know, like, give me your pure thoughts. Like, what are you thinking right now? I won't judge you or nothing. He goes, I'm not sure if you're an ISIS or not. I was like, what?
Hell yeah.
But he was convinced.
I hate not being sure if someone's an ISIS.
I mean,
dude,
it's impossible to
worst.
tell, dude.
But he was convinced that I had at some point planted a bomb under his car, and that's what was setting the alarm off. And then he realized that he was playing with his keys, which should have been the end of the thought process. Like, that should have been the end of the thought process. But then if it got overridden. He was like, no. Yeah, that's why. But still, though.
This is exactly what I understand being that disoriented on weed, because like all the psychedelics I've done, weed has this effect on me where it feels like time and also my previous thoughts are disintegrating behind me, so I can't like contextualize the moment that I'm in.
That makes sense.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
larger picture. So like I can see how you would become disoriented like that.
That's
Absolutely.
why you should just be alone in a room with headphones on.
It's not a bad.
But
diagnosis.
here, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do acid, dude.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's fair.
Yeah.
See, I'm afraid of what would happen if I do acid.
You've never done psychedelics?
No.
Do you have any schizophrenia in your family history?
No, but I feel like I could be the first.
You should.
You'd be a trailblazer in
Yeah.
that regard.
It's like I'm the first one in my family to go to college.
Yeah, if you study it, and
yeah.
like you try to, do some videos, just like try to know. Like the best thing that my buddy did for me was he gave me a timeline. He goes, this is what's going to be happening. You're going to take it 30 minutes. You probably won't feel anything at all. And then this is going to happen. And then this is going to happen. And then I had a timer on my watch. I was just like looking at it and knowing, okay, so this is where I'm supposed to be. So when I started freaking out because the bush was singing Shine On You Crazy Diamonds.
Yeah, dude.
And literally like I was just
I
like,
know.
oh. And then I remember looking at it. I was like, oh yeah, this is when it's really going to kick in.
Yes.
And I'm right there. It was the best experience I had because I didn't freak out because I was like, oh, I'm in control because I know what's going to happen.
Acid, I talked about this on Man Chain a little bit, but acid taught me anxiety management in the most concrete way I've ever understood it, where like no matter how deep in the throes of a trip you are, if it's too much, find a clock. Even if you don't have a clock, you can find some way to count down the minutes. It will lessen.
Yes.
You will regain control.
Yeah.
And that's actually served me even in like intense sober moments where I'm like, whatever's happening to you right now that's making you feel like this, it's not forever. And
That's really healthy.
You can get through. Yeah, I, for as much as we joke about me being like a burnout acid, I did intentionally trip, like setting intentions of like, I want to do this to make myself like healthier and better at managing my anxiety.
Yeah.
Because anxiety was a huge problem for me for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, what I'm afraid of is, because I do this just like being bipolar, is I'm afraid that I'm going to do acid, come out with some sort of incredibly wrong revelation, and then just be confidently telling people. I'm just like, I got it all figured out, and everyone's like, he really does.
Yeah, and then before you know it, dudes are catching you with a big net. We call the net guys.
You should definitely get in the mountains, somebody you trust. You know, have your spirit guide with you.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
I think
I'll go with you. Dude.
I don't. I
Yeah,
think
Kev would be great.
probably.
I'll calm you down.
I'm not sure if the potential benefits are worth the risk.
Yeah. Who knows?
I do.
We've discussed this a lot.
I genuinely think, here's the thing. If you take 2 grams of mushrooms, I bet you'll be in and out of it in 4 hours. Maybe this is too much to talk about on the episode, but I think you could bet, Brendan. I'm in my feelings. This is 135 proof whiskey,
Right?
I think just 2 little grams of mushrooms. I'm gonna, you're not even gonna know you're taking them. I'll put them in your Del Taco. You're gonna have a great time.
Come on, let us.
Please don't.
And I'll tell you something. If you're a bummer, I'm gonna hit you with a pillow until you act right. All right.
That's the kind of spirit guide you want.
That's what you want. I'm gonna stand over you and tell you that I'm an Indian, and if you disagree, I will hit you harder with the pillow. Dude.
I'm Native American.
I'm gonna blow smoke in you like my cat.
That's what I would like some of the peace pipe, but I'm not going to do acid.
You can have a piece.
I will only do like Native American weird drugs.
Dude, let's smoke some peyote, bro. Let's go out in the
Or let's just go in
desert.
the smoke lodge and just like
sweat it out.
yeah,
Sweat it out.
Jinx, bro.
Are
just
we,
absorb
are we
carbon
contacting the
monoxide.
aliens right now, dude? Cheers. Okay. Brendan, I have a question. Part
Yes.
Are we gonna? We should do the page tonight, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
our buddy Kevin. Do you want to switch over? Or do you just want to keep going and cut it?
Yeah,
into?
you down to do another hour?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Kevin, can
All
I tell
right.
you something? I'm so happy you're here, dude.
I'm happy to be here, dude.
Your last episode was so great. We're so glad to have you back.
Hell yeah. I feel like I'm
Hell
not
yeah.
being as funny as I should.
No,
be.
you
No,
are the
no. I think
fucking
people like when the show is kind of thoughtful.
Okay.
But anyway,
if anybody's fucking this up, let me tell you something. Look at me. It's me. It's
let's
100% me.
do we got anything to plug? We got the Autobar show.
We have the Autobar show. That link, I'll tell you something. I'm embattled right now with the Booker and the Autobar. That link is going to be up. I know a bunch of you guys have messaged me about driving from out of state to see it. I will message all you guys before I post it. Autobar show July 10th. I'm going to share the poster because Ethan LaGreca, who did it, is the fucking man. He makes such cool shit. And yeah, we're going to be doing stand-up on that show too.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, before you guys go, I want to say if you're not subscribed to the Patreon, like you know these guys, right? You care about them? What are you, pieces of shit? What are you sitting there? You got $5 you're just holding on to like an asshole? Fucking subscribe to the goddamn Patreon.
How
you know
awesome.
what I mean?
Thank
How
you.
awesome is
And
Kevin?
throw some words of encouragement to my boys here. They're putting this out. Like, look, Brendan is vulnerable right now. Like, he's putting himself out there for you every fucking week. This is like not an intrinsic thing that you're like comfortable with, like being vulnerable every single week.
At this point, I'm kind of numb to it, but yeah, it is.
And you blew my whole theory out of the water. But give him $5, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Come on.
At this point, I think there's like 48 bonus episodes up there, plus the first.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah.
only,
Page
wait,
for a
for
minute.
how much? It's probably like, what, $100 a month, right?
Yeah, we do $100 a
Yeah.
month here.
Wow.
So we do 100.
Just kidding. It's $5 a month.
$5.
What a
month.
bargain.
What a bargain.
Yeah.
Give him some money.
So you get all those
Jesus.
bonus episodes, and you get the first 50 episodes of this podcast that we took down because we were afraid of what we might have said in there.
Let me tell you something. We were both in deeply mentally ill places in our lives. There are some things I said in those early episodes that I would never admit to, not even in a court of law. Okay, I want you to understand that. But
Yeah,
for
I'm pretty
$5 a
sure-
month, you can have access to them.
I'm pretty sure that you have told stories on those first 50 episodes that I've brought up to you later and you've denied.
Yeah, I was. Let me tell you something, Brendan. I was an insane person. Okay.
Hey, that's the good shit.
Yeah. Do you have anything of your own you want to plug?
So the Brain Jail podcast is still up. I will be updating that stream at some point. So subscribe to Brain Jail. We have like 80 episodes up right now. It's one of the things I'm most proud of. Just because we cry and we laugh and all that shit.
Brain Jail. Can I pay you a compliment? Brain Jail is straight up one of the, like, when I think of my top 3 comedy podcasts, this is no joke. It's like you guys are in the same tiers, like Cumtown, Matt and Shane, all the big ones. It was just when I would ride the train to come up here, and I would like the first thing I put on would be Brain Jail.
Dude, hell yeah!
You guys were fucking amazing.
I had like a buddy from high school be like, "Hey, what happened to Brain Jail?"
Really?
Yeah, man.
Dude, hell yeah. Yeah, it's so I'm going to come back. I'm going to give it my best shot to try to reinstill some of those same, values or whatever you call it, like the same feel of it. But I may be able to convince the boys to come back at some point.
You have to.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not betting on it. But yeah, subscribe to Brain Jail. Check out my old podcast, Ripping and Skipping with Evan and Kevin. They're all still up. I still get bills from the Podbean shit. So check them out. They're hilarious. I'm proud of them.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gay.
Now you got to listen.
You got to listen, or you're a hate speecher.
Kevin, what if you were gay at Columbine in The Matrix?
Wait, what?
How do you think that day would have gone a little differently if that was the case?
100%. Dude, I just seen Dylan and what's his face sounding along. Oh my gosh, you look fabulous today. Jesus, you're gorgeous. The guns, they dropped the guns.
Guys,
finally somebody said something nice.
I could talk to you forever, so let's just cut it here and we'll take like a 3-minute break and then we'll
Switch
jump
over
into
the page.
the next
good.
one.
Yeah.
Sick.